Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Tree in Sea Number 6. It's a 6 by 8. I did this one about a couple weeks ago, and I've just been waiting to put it up, and I think you're really going to like it. I really like this painting a lot. And hopefully you'll enjoy seeing me put it together. We're working on some hardboard. It has been prepped with 2 coats of transparent gesso, so that's why it looks like there ain't nothing on it. We're currently doing our underpainting with a, that's actually a Robert Simmons, looks like a worn down number 2, and it looks like some burn umber there. I like burn umber for underpaintings because you never know with an underpainting. A lot of times I am able to just jump in and do the whole painting that same day. But if not, then it can sit there and dry. And the great thing about the burnt umber is that it'll be dry to the sometimes. Heck, it's summer out here right now. That burnt umber could be getting dry and tacky at the end of the day. Like 4 or 5 hours after doing the painting. Now, a lot of that could be because of the medium I'm using. I'm using a medium that contains an alkoyd drying element, which will speed up the drying of the oil paints fairly considerably, even in small amounts. So a lot of times first thing I will do with my medium is just put some in my brush, and sometimes I might even wipe some of that off. But it doesn't take very much to get us clicked into quick dry. I do like black for underpaintings, but I quit doing that because of this. If I'm not able to get in and do the entire painting right then, that black takes a long time to dry, even with the quick dry. And even with, I've tried the Gamblin quick dry ivory black. I didn't find the fast made, I think is what it's called. I didn't find very good results with that. So we're going to be watching this painting come together. It looks actually like I may have put a little bit of perylene black into that burnt umber. You'll forgive me if I don't know exactly, since actually that information would be in the members area, since that's real time. I always call those videos live because they are recorded live and they're put up with no editing. So you'll quite oftentimes hear me yelling at the dogs as they're desperately trying to get to people and get attention and things like that. But also a good thing about well, that's not a good thing about the members area, but it's not that bad. What's great about the members area is that it's real time. So whatever's going on, you know what's going on. And the members area videos actually have a color mixing session where I'll do, usually it's 10 or more colors, so it'll be the main colors of the painting. So you get a good idea of what all the constituent pigments are that are being used to create the painting. And of course it's blow by blow. A lot of people watch the members areas video a little bit sped up because I'm a mellow dude, right? Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to talk. We're gonna have a ad for the book coming up in about a minute or two, but let's go and get started on the thing I want to talk about. And after I finish this video, I'm going to be starting in on my audio portion of the third and final installment in my video courses. I know I've been talking about those, and you're wondering where. Maybe you're wondering, maybe you're not, but they will be showing up in February, and they'll be bundled. I'm going to make it really attractive for everybody. And oh yeah, so we're going to talk about process. Maybe we'll get into that towards the end of the video. I wanted to talk about a comment I had on one of my videos and I've heard this before, and I think it's obviously it's a correct insight, that I make it look easy. It does, it does look easy. It's It's not that easy though, and even when you're seeing someone do it, and that's one of the reasons for getting into the video courses, is I really want to be able to break things down and give you not exactly 100% blow by blow, but I'm talking about what's behind the decisions. And one of the things that's it's probably true of anything you want to create, but we're speaking about painting here, so we'll just stick to that. There are thousands and thousands of decisions that need to be made. We're going to talk about those thousands of decisions on the other side of this ad for the book. Getting some orders for the book, really appreciate it. I worked hard on it, and I think you'll get a lot from it if you like this the sort of style that I paint in and the way I put things together. It's all in the book. I've accumulated 10 years of knowledge and information in there. $60 US, includes international shipping. I'll get it out to you, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's also going to be a great adjunct to the video courses that are coming up. I'm going to try and find ways to bundle those together. Anyway, we were talking about decisions and decision space and things looking easy even when they're not. So it certainly is going to be a big boost for you to see somebody putting things together. And if you were to really slow it down and get patient, you might be able to match it stroke for stroke. But you may not have, though, is the insight into, so there's all these thousands of decisions. You don't know what's all you see is the result of the decision. It's quite opaque. Decisions regarding color. Well, most of that stuff is going to be informed by having done a lot of work over a lot of time. Much of it not necessarily very good work, and you learn from your bad decisions. And when you're in a similar situation, you can you can fall back on that. Go, oh, I remember last time I was dealing with something like this, and it wasn't good when I did this X or Y. So I'm going to do Z. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to kind of talk about, and it's related, is process. And some of you know, I've been talking about it on the channel. I've been reading a bit here and there, that book on Perennial Seller by Ryan Holiday. I'd never heard of the guy. Apparently it's like book number 15 or something. But I've had a big break from all that. I don't know. That sort of type of book. I went through a big phase maybe 15, 20 years ago where I was reading a lot of that sort of material, and I just got away from it. But not that I'm going nuts with it now, but I am trying to improve. My painting is taking pretty good care of itself. All I have to do is show up and keep working, and I'll get a little better here and there. Where I personally need help is, finding homes and ways of marketing the work. It's not exactly, none of us as artists, I think, love that job. And I think many of the artists that prosper are people that are good at doing the marketing and stuff and getting their work out there. For my part, I just find it oftentimes to be a chore, and I'm looking for better, easier ways to do it. So, I will rely on some books and stuff to help me. But, well, anyway, getting to what the idea that was in Ryan's book that I thought was really great. And I talked about this a little in the last video, but I want to expand on it because I think it's a very, very important idea. That is the idea of process, okay? And when I'm working on my video course today, that's one of the things that's going to be in the forefront of my brain, is really trying to impart. You can start with any process. You could start with my process, and then change and amend it to your liking. It doesn't matter if it's my process or some other artist's process or a process you came up with on your own. You're going to need to perfect that. And it's the process that carries you through the mountain of decisions, okay? So you have decisions as the size of the board, the colors you're going to use, the subject you're going to paint, how much contrast, how light or dark the painting. It just goes in. It's infinite. We could spend the whole rest of the video, enumerating all the different sorts of decisions to go into painting. But I really want to focus in on the idea and concept of process. You do have a process even now. Once you've come up with a process that's giving you decent results, then it's really a matter of refining that process. But the process will carry you through. And one of the things that Ryan had mentioned in this book is the phenomenon that I'd never heard outlined anywhere else, which is, looking at your older work and kind of feeling like, I'm not feeling very attached to this. I mean, I don't really remember doing this, and I don't remember, and then you find that you can't do it exactly the same way again. And why is that? Well, you're not the same person. Hopefully you're better. I have seen cases where artists got worse, and usually that's more case where they took a giant break, like 15-year break from painting, and then started up again. And it's amazing how bad they were. I'll say his name too, since he's long departed, and God rest him. God rest his soul, is Charles Warren Eaton, who one of the geniuses of all time of tonalist painting, and took a 20-year hiatus from painting, and then came back to it towards the end of his life. And those paintings are just awful. They're really not good. I don't know what's up with that, but that sort of makes my point in that he became very divorced from his process, and so he probably could have got it back. Who knows? I mean, that's a subject for another video. But what I kind of want to leave with you to think about is your process. Now, at first, maybe you just cobble something together, and it kind of works, it kind of doesn't. You really are looking at some of the stuff you see around. You want better results, so maybe that's one of the reasons you're watching videos on YouTube. I for one, if you were to spend the day watching my video, you could easily spend weeks and weeks and weeks watching my videos one after the next, and occupy many, many waking hours doing that, because there's a lot there. What you'd find is similarity in process, cutting all the way back to 2014. Now, I do change things up. I change the board color. I change the color of the underpainting. I've added and subtracted colors from my palette. But what hasn't changed? Well, I always do an underpainting, because without an underpainting, what am I gonna, if you're not doing the underpainting approach, you're gonna be into the block-in approach, which is absolutely fine. I have combined the two, where I've done an underpainting and then kind of done a color block-in. I found when I was doing some larger things a few months back that was very helpful, since the approach I sort of do now is I have my underpainting, and then I go about just painting in each section. I paint in the sky, and then I paint in the darks in the land, and then I finish up the medium tones in the land, and then I go to the highlights, and then I set about refining the entire painting together. Oh, it's really starting to rain. I don't know if you'll hear that on this this headset. That's my process in a nutshell. Pick a board. One thing that's a big part of my process, it isn't going to be white, it's going to be toned. If I was forced to work on white, I would immediately tone it with some spirits, because you don't want this little bit of white peeking around. Now, that isn't as critical, say, if you're doing the block-in process. Block-in process, you would be painting in big shapes that all meet each other and overlap, and that's a really valid process, I will say. Totally good. But for me, I like to have my underpainting, which is a drawing, and that tells me I got all my ducks lined up, and I know where I'm going to do and where I'm going to go. Anyway, hey, that's it for Uncle Mike today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Lots of ways to support me. Check it out. Go check out my blog on my website. I'm going to try and remember to put a link. But if you go to my website, you'll see it right there. It's 2024 blog. Until I come back with another video for your edification and enjoyment, do me a favor and do me a solid. Please take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble, and God bless you and your family. Fight the power.